I would like to invite Associate Professor Dr. Imam to deliver his short sharing session and follow with Dr. Rini as a last speaker. Please, Dr. Imam.
Okay, thanks again. In this second round, okay, let me start with the first part of our experience regarding development of engineering classification of weathering grid. It is, as far as I know, also presented by our colleagues from Malaysia. Well, talks about weathering, I think it is very important in our country, especially in Indonesia, with lying on the semi-tropical equator region. And we have very intense weathering processes. And in general, it's expressed by thick residual soil that's ring individual thickness reaching more than hundreds meters. It is quite common. We can find in Indonesia. And in this regard, we developed some important indicator and suitable and reliable techniques, which are most applicable in Indonesia, especially those based on the assessment of degree of discoloration of rocks material and including rock mass. And we also identify the changes in mineralogical composition, especially from laboratory analysis. Also, we analyze the destruction of original rocks texture and fabrics. So we compare between rock soil ratio to develop this degree of weathering. And another important parameter is the intensity or fracture spacing or discontinuities. Then related with this, we still continue in developing advanced method for better classifying weathering grade using many kind of integrated physical, chemical, mechanical analysis. And actually, this weathering classification system has been made for useful guide in many engineering works in Indonesia. And also, as we know all, maybe this procedure actually already suggested by International Society for Engineering, Geology, and the Environment, and also International Society for Rocks Mechanics. That is the first experience. Let's move in the second experience, which regard to improve slaking index test for characterizing clay-bearing rocks. This analysis, this activity actually driven by many problems with regard to rapid growth infrastructure lately in Indonesia. And we have presence clay bearing, or we call as argillaceous rocks, that showing physical deterioration behavior with pacing on time, and we often call as a rock slaking behavior. And due to this behavior, many slope instability and also foundation problems arise in many infrastructure development, such as in Cipularang Toll Road in the West Java. And also we have a problem with regard to this behavior in Semarang Solo Toll Roads, and also actually in many other places in Indonesia, from Papua until Aceh region. I think our important contribution to studying the second process by suggesting the so-called as improve slaking index test. The basic test is to determine the progression of slaking through 5 cycles of the test and implementing observation directly during the test. And we suggest a new index test for the slaking index test called as a slake susceptibility index. We still continue to research an application of the index test widely in Indonesia for characterizing argillaceous rocks and bring it into engineering consideration in many engineering projects in Indonesia. Then let's move in the third, our experience. I would like to share our experience with regard to integrated rock slope stability analysis for slope management. Actually, we have main application in Central Sulawesi, especially along 30-kilometer long segment at Tawali Toboli National Road of Central Sulawesi. As we know, in that region, topography is very rough with steep and very steep slope. And this area laying on the metamorphic rocks and also molas deposit, we already write the result of this analysis into a paper entitled Towards Development of Slope Management System along the Tawali Toboli National Road Segment, Central Sulawesi. And actually, in this regard, we make a modification from rock hazard rating system suggested by Pearson 2005. And we give also some modification and integration, the use of empirical continuous slope mass rating that suggested by Thomas. You can see some figure that related with the continuous slope mass rating in my presentation here. And in conjunction with analytical method, of course, using conventional limiting equilibrium method and also numerical methods. And in this regard, we also suggest the slope stability inventory method for development of slope database. Of course, we still continuing develop this analysis by integrating this method into a web-based slope risk management system. And the last research experience that I would like to share today is related to runout distribution modeling of some debris flow in Indonesia. And talk about the landslide, I think Indonesia also is very prone country from this disaster. We have many landslides that occur especially in during rainfall season, and we have intensive weathering process, so that's why landslides is can be found in many places in Indonesia. And one of the important landslide type that often causes a lot of causalities and very heavy damage is debris flow. And I say this type of the debris flow as a most dangerous gravity killer in Indonesia due to the lot of casualties. From this regard, we do modeling. Of course, we applied the concept of the modeling based on the momentum equation and flow mode, continuity of the flow model, and also reverse erosion and sedimentation process during the flowing mechanism. And we have already make 1D and 2D simulation modeling that applied to a lot of debris flow even in Indonesia, not only in Java area, but also that happen in Sumatra, Sulawesi, and Papua, and other big island in Indonesia. We are on progress to continue developing this modeling on better deterministic and also probabilistic approach under volume changes behavior. I think that's all. Some of our experience on the research practice in rocks engineering I would like to share today, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pak Imam, for interesting talk today. And I understand the limited times may disturb some of your interesting slides that you prepared for us today. I think Dr. Imam just shared with us about some of his advanced research related to the weathering, a great classification system in rock engineering, but of course he presented about the slate susceptibility index, which can be improved with respect to the localities perspective. And I like the story of this web-based risk management system where you embedded some of the rock hazards informations, as well as this last one on the runout distributions modeling of some of the debris flow in Indonesia, where you wish to extend this probabilistic modeling in the future. So I wish you a good luck. Thank you very much, Dr. Imam, Head of the Engineering Geology Faculty of Earth Sciences and Technology from ITB. Thank you for your sharing today.